Sorry, I like this one to go now. Sorry, I like this one to go now.
Warmly welcome everyone, and in particular the pressmen too. As you can see in today's meeting, it is a meeting of not just people from Kogi East, but people from all over Kogi State. We are gathered to share with you our resolutions after a very keen deliberation. And this is the communique that we have to issue to you, and I read as follows. Communique issued at the end of the meeting of Kogi State Forum of Concerned Citizens held on 22nd April 2024 at Abuja. The Kogi State Forum of Concerned Citizens met in Abuja on the 22nd April 2024 to review issues concerning the state, region and the ongoing efforts of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, to bring the former governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahaya Adoza Bello, to justice and to answer allegations of embezzlement of over 84 billion leveled against him and others. The forum noted the slow pace in bringing Yahaya Bello to justice, but however commended the EFCC for rising to the occasion this time around to bring him and others to justice in response to the numerous petitions against him and our previous calls and calls of other well-meaning Kogais and Nigerians. The forum regrettably noted the arrogant resistance to arrest put forward by the former governor, Alhaji Yahaya Bello, which tallies with his posturing and crass behavior that he is above the law and can do and undo in all situations, believing that he can always buy everyone in Nigeria as long as his umbilical cord is connected to Kogi Treasury. As we speak, I want to bring to your notice that he has started mobilizing people to protest all over Nigeria. He has mobilized people in Lagos about 2-3 days ago. Today, he has also mobilized people in Kogi State. Every local government is given 3 buses to assemble in Lokoja to demonstrate and to tell EFCC not to arrest Bello. This is his stock in trade, and that is the part he's going again. He believes that he's above the law and that there is no institution in Nigeria that can question him about his 8 years in Kogi State. And I believe that the law of Nigeria is being put to test by his confrontation, and will continue to watch as the events unfolds. The forum further noted that the disgraceful actions of Nigerian police officers attached to Alhaji Yahaya Bello by forcefully preventing the EFCC from performing her lawful duties and draw the attention of Inspector General of Police to our various press releases concerning the activities of Kogi State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Bertrand Onoha, who has subjugated law and order in the state to the whims and caprices of Yahaya Bello. It is now glaring that he has reduced the state police command to the private army of Yahaya Bello. We commend the Inspector General of Police, the IGP, for proactive reaction to the unethical conduct of Bello's security aides. We implore him to carry the same disciplinary measure on the CP of Kogi State, that is Bertrand Onoha, who has been at the root of misconduct of policemen in Kogi State. Nigerians may not have come to the end of unethical conduct of policemen in Kogi State as long as Bertrand Onoha remains the CP of Kogi State. You will recall that this same Bertrand Onoha took along policemen, thugs, and other security agencies to Wanyigba prior the election, attacked the home of our campaign director, killed 2 policemen and 2 civilians, and labeled them as terrorists. Unknown to him, he didn't understand that the people he has killed are policemen that he himself has attached to the director of campaign. So he has admitted openly that he committed murder. Committed murder because these people were there lawfully on duty and they were killed. Since then, we have been appealing to the Inspector General of Police to do something concerning Bertrand Onoha, yet nothing has been done. We want to use this forum again to appeal to him, to see reason in what we are saying, that there is a need to call Bertrand Onoha and let him go through the due process of disciplinary measures as the rules of the police and the laws and the constitution of this country permits. The forum commended His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, for his war against corruption and abuse of office by public officers and his doggedness in maintaining the sanctity of law and order, irrespective of who is involved. The forum further commended Mr. President for not allowing himself to be hoodwinked by the yesteryear haters, turned his bootlickers now that they found themselves in a very tight corner. As a man of many parts, Mr. President has proven that he has a memory of an elephant. The forum noted the disgraceful, shameful, and illegal manner Governor Ododo of Kogi State smuggled Yahaya Bello from the Benghazi street home, thereby obstructing the course of justice, since the service to his master is more important to him than the oath of office he has taken. The forum invites Nigerians, and indeed the whole world, to note the reason why former Governor Yahaya Bello had to criminally pre-fill the INEC result sheets and commit heinous electoral malfeasance in favor of Ododo to be declared winner of the state governorship election held on 11th November 2023. You see, there is nothing wrong having a successor, but there is everything wrong having an unfit successor. Having a successor is not for the purpose of coming to cover your evil works or your embezzlement. It is to improve on what a governor that is living has done. But in the case of Kogi State, the purpose is to cover. And the acts of the Governor Ododo, since he came in, is very, very glaring. His purpose is to cover the embezzled money of Kogi people, and that cannot be taken by Kogi people. That since Ododo was sworn in as governor of the state, despite the outcry of decent Kogais, he abandoned the Kogi State government house for Yahaya Bello to maintain his full complementary staff. All the people he had as governor are still with him and are working for him. Retain his office. He still goes to his office as if he is the sitting governor. He still remains in his official residence, where we call Presidential Lodge. That is where he stays, and that is where he is still staying. So if this is allowed to be, what do you call it? Is this not a third tenor? So these are the things he continues to do. He puts the law and the Constitution of Nigeria to test all the time, finding new ways to manipulate the law. And I'm sure this time around, it will not work. it will certainly not work. He will not have his third tenure as he has planned by himself. The people of Kogi State and Nigerians and those who are protecting the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will not permit this to happen. He is still in his official residence and he continues to enjoy the paraphernalia of his office as though he is on his third term, and thus providing sanctuary for him to evade arrest or be held accountable for his past misdeeds as governor. The forum further drew the attention of INEC to the case of double registration brought against Yahaya Bello, of which INEC confirmed same to be true, but could not prosecute him because of the immunity he enjoyed as governor that time, but promised to prosecute him in accordance with the extant law at the end of his tenure. That the INEC should commence the prosecution against former Governor Bello without further delay as deterrent to other lawless and desperate politicians. As you know, it is not permitted for anyone to register twice or more than one time in an election or in the process of voting. But I was an eyewitness to the double registration. If you look at the pictures as presented that time, it is the office of the governor of Kogi State. I was the city deputy governor. And I cautioned them that this registration is going to be a problem. The then law officer of the state advised him that it doesn't mean anything. I said, it means so much. But today, we are face to face with it. I am a living witness to that double registration, and at the right time, we'll do the needful. The forum further drew, the forum further noted the continuous emasculation of the state judiciary and legislation in the power structure of the state. The state judiciary has surrendered itself to the state government, hence becoming an avenue for the procurement of frivolous injunctions to further frustrate the fight against corruption that crippled the judiciary itself. That the state judiciary recently succumbed to former Governor Bello's pressure to recommend his wife and relatives to be appointed as judges of the state high court. This is a woman that had never practiced law since her call to bar. Is this a thing that should be? Today, the state judiciary that ought to be the beacon of hope for justice to everyone is at its knees, begging for the instruction from former Governor Bello and Governor Dudu to pervert justice. The same goes for the state legislation that is now a mere rubber stamp for executive rascality in the state. The concept of separation of powers and the independence of the judiciary is alien to former Governor Bello and by extension to Governor Ododo. We call on National Judicial Council to carefully look at the laws and rules that guide appointment of judicial officers to save the nation from judicial catastrophe. The Forum of Concerned Kogi Citizens paid glowing tribute to the former Minister of Health, late Architect Chief Yahaya Adoza, who died in Atlanta, Georgia, in USA in the preceding month, in March. Late Adoza was extolled as a pan-Nigerian leader, a man of peace imbued with utmost humility, despite his monumental achievement as a nation builder and an icon par excellence. That as he commences his final earthly journey, we pray for the angels to welcome him to the bosom of Abraham and enjoin all to be consoled by the good life that he lived. After thorough deliberations of the above-ranging issues, the forum resolved as follows. 1. That Yahaya Bello is currently holed up in Kogi State Government House, and all efforts should be taken to bring him to justice. That relying on moralizing and or appeal to conscience will not yield any result or move him to voluntarily surrender to EFCC, because, as the saying goes, the guilty are always afraid. It is that same fear that is making him to mobilize people to demonstrate in Lagos, and today he's also mobilizing people to demonstrate in Kogi State in Lokoja. Moreover, Governor Adoza should be requested to immediately surrender his abductee, that is Yahaya Bello, because he's the one that came to Benghazi Street and took Yahaya Bello away from the hands of the EFCC. On the 17th of April, under the cover of his immunity, we urge the leadership of APC to be wary in giving responsibilities to men of low character, particularly responsibilities that requires honesty, experience, and trustworthiness. Asking Ododo to conduct primaries in Ondo is a complete misrepresentation of the party and a low image for Nigeria. And of course, for as many of us that are conversant with the news coming from Odo, he has not performed. You cannot use unrighteousness to create righteousness. You cannot. Neither can you use darkness to create light. It's only light that gives birth to light, and darkness gives birth to darkness. 2, that all presidential handlers should refrain from encouraging or allowing Yahaya Bello or characters like him access to the presidency as recently done. That such actions are capable of sending wrong signals that the president condone or provide sanctuary for fugitives like Yahaya Bello or his likes. 3, that APC should immediately suspend Governor Ododo from membership of the party for brazenly and sheepishly obstructing law enforcement agencies from carrying out their lawful duties and elevating his servitude to Yahaya Bello above his oath of office and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which he swore to uphold. 4, that Kogi State House of Assemblies once again called upon to commence impeachment proceedings against Governor Ododo for obstruction of justice and for abandoning Kogi State Government House for Yahaya Bello to evade arrest and prosecution contrary to his oath of office. 5, that INEC should immediately institute legal proceedings against Yahaya Bello for double registration as voter in Abuja and Okene, contrary to the provisions of extant laws. That INEC had already established the case against Bello, but could not prosecute him because of the immunity he enjoyed at that time as a state governor. Now that his tenure is over, nothing stops INEC from bringing him to justice to serve as deterrent to other lawless and desperate politicians. Number 6, that all Nigerians should rise and support Mr. President in his tireless efforts in ridding Nigerians of corruption and bringing corrupt public officers to justice, irrespective of tribe, religion, and party affiliations. that Mr. President will go down in history as one leader that abhorred corruption in high places in Nigeria, that the immediate suspension of the Minister of Social Development and Humanitarian Affairs over the allegation of corruption and abuse of public office by Mrs. Betta Edu is a case in point of Mr. President's zero tolerance to corruption. That the federal government and Kogi state government should name any national asset and or establishment after the former Minister of Health, late Architect Yahaya Adoza, for his untainted leadership and service to Nigeria and Kogi State. That by immortalizing late Architect Adoza, present and future generations will learn and emulate his virtues of honesty, hard work, integrity, and peaceful coexistence with all people. Number 8, that the Inspector General of Police is once again called upon to redeploy the Kogi State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Bertrand Onoha, from the state to forestall further damages to the image of the Nigerian police force and misuse of our personnel to obstruct justice, as was seen in Abuja recently. Mr. Onoha had previously confessed to extrajudicial killings of innocent Kogais at the behest of former Governor Bello. Again, he is using the police personnel attack to former Governor Yahaya Bello to prevent his arrest by sister law enforcement agencies. 9, the forum commends the immediate withdrawal of the heirs of the former governor, Yahaya Bello. Yahaya Bello is servicing them from his loots from Kogi Treasury, hence the irresistible attachment to him and their availability for his illegal affront against his perceived political enemies and other law enforcement agencies. 10, that all Kogais should unite and fight the scourge of corruption from our body politic. That our brothers and sisters in Kogi East, Central, and West should recall that the several months of non-payment of salaries, non-existent infrastructure, and decay in health and education affected all of us. Hence, we should all support the EFCC in their effort to recover our common patrimony from our looter-in-chief, Alhaji Yahaya Bello and his clans of corrupt acolytes. That all of us are victims of Yahaya Bello bad governance. No one should be suffering and smiling. As we speak, you cannot say that the people from Igboralan are not suffering. They are. The people from Oku are suffering. The people from Igala and Basalan are suffering. So this suffering, there is no exception. All we need to do is to ensure that what is bad is taken away and what is good is brought in so that Kogi can move forward as a state. Number 11, that Governor Ododo should return to Kogi State to provide leadership and governance instead of using his security personnel attached to him to protect Yahaya Bello to evade justice. That the continuous payment of salaries of personal staff of Yahaya Bello from the state coffers is an abuse of office, and his days of reckoning and accountability will soon be at hand. That the state judiciary should join the war against corruption, stop the perversion of justice, vile issuance of frivolous injunctions on matters beyond their jurisdiction, and stop being an embarrassment to itself in her quest to please the state governor whose only interest in governance is plundering the state resources for personal benefits. 13, that the state legislature had driven itself to oblivion, occasioned by avarice of her members, thereby neglecting their their oversight functions and aiding the governor to plunder the state. The members of the State Assembly are number one happy slaves of the state. That members of the State Assembly should live up to their responsibilities and ensure separation of powers by acting as checks and balances on the excesses of the executive, instead of being a mere puppet in the hands of the governor or being a happy slave. 14. We promise to continue to address issues from time to time as matters unfold. We commend the press for resisting continually the attempts of the Kogi State government in blocking news items. We advise the Kogi State government to always come forward and state their own side of the case instead of wasting Kogi resources in an attempt to block news items. Kogi State government should know that in this age of internet, every man that has a phone is also holding a television. And so news no longer can be blocked. It is an exercise in futility. And so they should desist from going to television houses and blocking news here and there. As soon as a news gets to the internet, it is gone all over the world. And so there's nothing you can do to block it. I, who is reading this speech, can immediately from now send this message to the internet, and it will continue to multiply until it gets to the utmost part of the earth. That is what the world that we live in. So if they are living in ignorance and thinking that blocking news at television houses will save them, there is no hiding place for it. What they should do is to first of all repent and begin to do that which is right, so that people do not come up, exposing their evil and wicked stand. But as long as they refuse to repent and they continue in their evil, we will continue to bring out that which they ought to do, which they have not done well. We thank you all for coming. It shouldn't be from me.
Well, the question the gentleman of the Corporate of Estate has just answered.
Tell them your name.
Yeah, I'm Dada Fehiti, former executive chairman in Jumu local government. We are hearing, just like the deputy governor said, that with the social media, within a second we'll send news here and there. We are hearing that he's been arrested in Chad. That he was on this bike when he was arrested. Of course, it's becoming an embarrassment to us in Kogi State.
Yeah,
it's becoming an embarrassment. If your hands are clean, one we expect that by today he will drive into Abuja and surrender himself to the law enforcement agent. So it's his refusal to come to Abuja that is making people to guess, to speculate here and there. In fact, some were saying that he dressed as a woman in order to beat the security. So why do we need to go this far? We thought he was a man of courage, and we thought he would come here in Abuja and surrender himself. Mm-hmm. But now that no one can say this is his whereabouts, that is why people kept speculating that he's still in government house. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yes, more information if you are conversant with the news from the EFCC. The way he has been acting is when he's coming to Abuja, he leaves his phone in Lokoja. So they will think that he's still in Lokoja. Meanwhile, he's in Abuja. The only way you can track someone is basically through the phone of the person. So what he has been doing is placing his phone where he is not. The EFCC, on their part, has tried their best to go to where the phone is, only to discover that he's not there. And that is what has been happening. And that is why EFCC at last resorted to tracking the phone of one of his aides that is always with him. That is how they were able to know that he's in Benghazi Street, and they condoned the place. Now that the aides have been all removed and his phone is not with him, it is yet a challenge. It is yet a challenge. But the surprising and embarrassing situation is the fact that a former governor of a state will be running away from law enforcement agents. A former chief security officer who had police, DSS, and everybody under his control. Why would you be afraid of them? The law is not to kill him. The law is to question him and for him to prove that what is being alleged is not true. That is simply what is desired, is asked to do. But because of the magnitude of his corruption, which he himself is aware, and the personal arrogance of his person, he feels that appearing before EFCC is demeaning to him. These are people who ordinarily should not be local government chairmen, who found their way to the corridor of power and became governors of state, but who feels that they are above the law now. What we are asking is that Nigerian law should take its course. And it's on this note that we want to appeal to the National Assembly to rearrange prosecution, to the judicial process of trying corrupt officers. The lengthy period makes them evade it. It makes them evade it because when this lawyer is here today, tomorrow is no longer the one handling it, and this judge is the one handling it, then later is not the one handling it. For 15 years, 20 years, we are trying somebody on corruption that is an issue of figure, of money taken. I mean, it is unfair. We need to do something about it, to bring sanity to Nigeria, and for us to once again enjoy Nigeria as Nigerians. The operation of state and the financial flow as it is in the state. There is no way Bello can take money from the state coffers without the leave of the Accountant General, without the auditors being involved. Anything you do as a governor, it goes onto the open registry at last, whether you like it or not. Civil servant will tell you, oh, this one will cover it. They don't cover it. It goes. And when we came to office, I advised him. I told him, know that anything you pen on is to the public. To go to the open registry at last. And everybody will see it. So be mindful. But when a man's heart is corrupt, those kind of advice does not make sense. So there are people, take for instance in Kogi State, there have been payment of 20%, 25%, 30% to local government. Is it that the money for local government could not pay local government salary? The answer is no. The money available to local government could pay their salaries and benefits. But he takes this money using the local government chairman. If you are conversant with the news that the new petition that has been filed, you will see the names of local government chairmen. If you don't do it, the next day they remove you and effect a replacement. You don't sign for them. So, but they will speak for themselves when they appear before the EFCC. Thank you. As you can see in today's meeting,
it shocked you.
It is a meeting
Wow.
of not just people
All
from
right.
Kogi East.
By Mafido, I see you. God, there's 30 billion, I see you.
So
Now, wow.
we are going to look at 10 things that Yahaya Bello has done. Olakoko, God bless you. Everybody, want to get your popcorn and relax. Because we are going to use Yahaya Bello as a scapegoat to all the bad governors that are ruling our country of the 36 states, the governors that are not doing well. Yahaya Bello is going to be example because Yahaya Bello have no reason to fail. A youth, a young man, a man that is strong, is not sick, is not going to hospital. No, he fits. In fact, 39 years they gave you a state to handle. 40 years they gave you. He had no reason. He had the support of Buhari. There was nobody Buhari supported the way he supported Yahaya Bello. He did not campaign, did not do poster. He was giving governor. To have more details that, go and watch part 1. We said so much about that in part 1. Now, part 2 of this broadcast is where we are. 10 things Yahaya Bello have done. 10 things Yahaya Bello have done. Number 1, nepotism. Nepotism. What is nepotism? You dey office. You go come up for office. You go carry your brother. You go put there. Or you dey office, you will put your people in the whole special office of the state. By Nigeria Constitution, once your family have a governor already, or a deputy governor, in the next 10 years, nobody in your family should sit on that seat. That is what the Constitution says. Not even your child. That's why you will see most of these governors, when they are leaving, they will go and look for their brother that is not answering the same name with them. Like Yahaya Bello. Governor Ododo, Usman Ododo of Kogi State now, the new governor now, that entered 2-3 months ago. He's a cousin of Yahaya Bello. He's a brother of Yahaya Bello. The only reason Yahaya Bello put in 2 reasons. Number 1, he was the secretary of the state. He was the one, the secretary and the treasurer. He was the one that was holding all the money of Yahaya Bello. Number 2, he does not answer the same name with Yahaya Bello. He's his brother. He's his brother. But they don't have the same surname. That's why he put it there. So they will go and look for their person that don't have the same, their relation that don't answer the same father name with them. That's the one they will carry and put there. That is nepotism. His cousin is the one that is the governor. That's nepotism. Then the chief of staff to his cousin. The chief of staff to this new governor, Usman Ododo, the one that drove him away inside car. The one that whisked him away inside car. The chief of staff to that one is Yahaya Bello junior brother. The same father, they say, but his own cousin is governor. After the deputy governor, the next person is chief of staff. The chief of staff is Yahaya Bello junior brother, the same father, the same father. Then the deputy governor is like Yahaya Bello's son. The deputy governor is the one that lied down. How many of you remember in the inauguration day when this new governor of Kogi State entered, Usman Ododo? The deputy governor lied down on the floor for Yahaya Bello. The new deputy governor of how many of you remember? Maybe some of you watched that video that went viral. He and the wife lied down on the floor. The deputy governor is Yahaya Bello second cousin.
Wow. Wow.
Yahaya Bello carry your family put for governorship. That is the first crime. That is nepotism. You carry your only family. Now only your family there. Now only your family now there the state. No. You carry your whole family, you put for there. We saw it also in Edo State, but I don't want to go there. But thank God the person is no longer the deputy governor. But I don't want to go there. That's not my subject. My subject is Yahaya Bello this evening. Now, that's number 1. Nepotism is when you put your people in power, only your own brother and sister. against the wish of the whole state. When you know that that thing is not only for you and your family, it's for the whole state. And you came there by the help of God. They have picked you and put you there. They did not do nepotism. Yet you now put your whole family there. And there is a rumor, there is a speculation going on. Let me just say now that the reason Buhari took Yahaya Bello and put him there is because Yahaya Bello is related to Buhari's wife. That is another rumor that we are hearing. That Buhari took his in-law, Yahaya Bello, and put him there as governor. Because somehow it looks as if Yahaya Bello is related to Buhari's wife, Aisha. But let's leave that one. We'll discover if there is patiri. We'll discover that one. So you can see nepotism, but let's leave it there. Let's move on. Now, number two, double registration. Yahaya Bello is the only governor that was registering people 2 times to vote. We have never seen it because he wanted his own cousin to be governor by all means. We have never seen anything like that in the history of humanity. In the history of Nigeria, we know there is electoral corruption. How did INEC allow Yahaya Bello to be registering voters 2 times? That is, you will vote today and you will vote in Nana. Yahaya Bello will tell you to go house. You go and change the clothes you wear. That is, maybe you came with trouser and shirt. They will tell you to go house. On election day, you go house and wear knicker and maybe another shirt. If you like, go and wear native on top of knicker, you come. They will register you again. They were using photo instead of thumb printing. They were using photo to Yahaya Bello is a mafia. They were using photo to accredit people into INEC server. How did INEC allow that to happen? People were voting 2 times, double registration. One person he will go home, they will go and change clothes. He will come back and vote, they will pay him. Double registration. We have never seen it in the history of Nigeria. Yahaya Bello is the first person that did it. That's the second crime he committed. Number 3, embezzlement of funds. Embezzlement of funds. The money that is declared that Yahaya Bello has stolen, 100 billion or 80 billion, it's not the money he has stolen. No. It's more than that. To the point, Yahaya Bello is among the top 10 richest governors in Nigeria. Top 10. So he embezzled a lot of funds. He did not pay a civil servant. He did not pay worker. He ridiculed their House of Assembly. Because House of Assembly are the one that impeach and they make laws. Yahaya Bello make them useless. He don't pay them salary. He doesn't pay them. Those ones, they will beg and beg and beg and beg and beg and beg. They will cry and cry and cry. Before Yahaya Bello will put a drop on their mouth. He will put a drop on their mouth. So that they will not have power. They will not have the energy to make laws against him. In fact, the House of Assembly was in his pocket. His own people were also in the House of Assembly in Kogi State. Now, that's number 3, embezzlement of funds. Number 4, 100 billion naira diversion. Yahaya Bello took 100 billion naira diversion to go and be supporting, paying his children's school fees in abroad. And this school fees, Yahaya Bello will pay many years ahead. It will not pay 1 year, it will pay like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ahead. Yahaya Bello was actually diverting funds for his personal use. Personal use. Yahaya Bello have girlfriends, so Abuja girls, Nollywood girls, all those your Nollywood actresses and actors. Some of them are Yahaya Bello girlfriend. He buy them houses in abroad. He buy them houses in different place. In fact, why the state is languishing in abject poverty. Yahaya Bello is busy enriching his girlfriends in Abuja, in Lagos, in Lokoja, in abroad, in America. All his girlfriends, money, five house. That was what he was doing with the 100 billion naira that they catch him for. Now, number 5. Yeah, number 5, $720,000 for his daughter's school fees. Yahaya Bello daughter's school fees is $720,000. The question is, Yahaya Bello that became governor, how much did his parents spend for his own school fees? It was not even up to $1,000. Yahaya Bello became governor. How much did his own parents spend for his own school fees for him that became a governor? It's not up to $1,000 Nigeria money. Yet Yahaya Bello is spending $720,000 for his own daughter's school fees. Taxpayers' money, hard-earned money of the state. Yahaya Bello is using it to enrich his children. Whereby him that became a governor, that want to become president, his parents did not spend up to $1,000 for him to go to school and finish. Can you see the stupidness of Yahaya Bello? No, that is every time we will be telling them, build good schools in Nigeria. They will not build though. Their children will go and be schooling abroad. They will carry Nigerian naira. They will change it to dollars and be given to white people to train all the politicians. They are like that too. Their children abroad. Their children build good school in Nigeria. Is that not why we voted for you people? No, they will not build. They will never build. They will go and be paying for a school that a white man built already. They will carry Nigeria hand. They will go and be pumping it there abroad. All right. Number 6. Yahaya Bello is still living in government house. Yahaya Bello is no longer the governor of Kogi State. Yahaya Bello is still living inside government house. He is the first person to say that they must not do what they call they are going to do what they call immediate past governor's house in the government house. Yahaya Bello is the first person that said they are going to do what they call immediate past government house inside the government house. That is the governor that just left. They will now also build a house for him inside government. Ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters, wherever you are watching from, Yahaya Bello is a fraud. He's a fraud. Yahaya Adoza Bello, he's a Yahoo government.
Now champion, you be.
He's a Yahoo government.
When I see you too,
he said they should build a house for him inside government house. Now, there are 2 things for number 1. Yahaya Bello is afraid that he will be arrested. He wants his own cousin that is governor to continue to protect him, give him immunity. Now, you heard that man that was talking just now. The man that was talking on this screen is the former deputy governor to Yahaya Bello. That man, no Yahaya Bello. He was the first deputy governor. Yahaya Bello changed deputy. This man was the first 4 years. This was the deputy governor Buhari gave him. Yahaya Bello changed him and put another one. Yahaya Bello is the only governor that successfully changed 2 deputy governors within the space of 4 years. The one of Edo State is after 7.5 years. For 4 years, he changed 2 deputy governors. This man was the first deputy governor Buhari gave him. He dropped this man, now pick his own relation again. He picked his own cousin and make that one deputy governor. So this man, he was giving us some vital information. He said Yahaya Bello will leave his phone. He will leave his phone in Lokoja. He will go to Abuja. So when they are trying to trace his phone, they will trace the phone to government house. They will see that Yahaya Bello is not there. The phone will be ringing. He's not there. He's in Abuja. Yahaya Bello is a serious Yahoo governor. Very fake. Now, that's not the only thing. You were hearing from one of the former secretary to the state government that was talking. The man said they were hearing that Yahaya Bello now dressed like a woman. He will enter bank. He will enter public bank dressed like a woman so that he can beat security. So that EFCC so that EFCC will not catch him. That's that. Let's go to number 7. Youth o'clock, Yahaya Bello. You see youth. They give power to youth now. You see the way it messed up. Why would they not be afraid now to give youth opportunity? Why would they not be afraid? They will be afraid. Yahaya Bello is the reason why people like Showore can never be president in Nigeria, because they gave a youth opportunity. Rule and state. Look at what he did. Mess up everywhere. Mess up, scatter the whole state before he lived there. Now, number 7. The obstruction of law enforcement agencies. That is, they stopped the EFCC from coming to Yahaya Bello's residence. Yahaya Bello put his own cousin, Usman Ododo, as the governor. That one came with a black coupe. If you watch this video, this very broadcast, the beginning of this video, we played it the way they came with a black coupe to carry Yahaya Bello away, to whisk him away. That is the obstruction of law enforcement agents from picking Yahaya Bello. Now, that is another crime, because he has stressed the FCC too much. If they're supposed to give him 1 year, they will increase the years. If he was supposed to pay small fine, they will increase the fine. That's it. Number 8. The House of Assembly, this thing was not supposed to be a national matter. No. Kogi State House of Assembly was supposed to impeach Yahaya Bello. Yahaya Bello, like I told you before, he deceived them. He played the wayo, he bribed them. All the salary did not pay them before. He had paid small inside so that they will leave him alone. He made redundant his own House of Assembly so that they will not impeach him. The House of Assembly people that have not eat, that their wife and children have not eat, they are not be able to go to school. Like we had in Edo State, 40 House of Assembly member that was not inaugurated.
Congress,
is it those ones that will not be impeaching the governor? They will not have the strength to impeach the governor.
Yeah, what do you call it? Congress, before you proceed, if you take this call.
Okay, take the call.
Yeah, go ahead, caller.
Bishop, appreciating about everything come up for that side. You understand?
We greet you. Thank you.
I say, Yahaya Bello issue that the former deputy going come out the best place to play. We're going to see. Wait till do a change as deputy governor for Kogi State. I remember I say to no as our president today now. It don't change before it.
No, I tell you, deputy governor. Resolve this without anyone else being hurt. If we can do that, everything depends on you, doesn't it? Tara's right. Glass is bulletproof, real wall is still reinforced.
Network.
These are time to take those hostages down. You gotta get creative. So they still got those hostages. You got any paint rounds left over from that training exercise we did with LASD?
Organa could give you for come. Hey, you control your network.
Okay, let me just continue.
Okay. I'll bring it back.
Let me take it to number 8. Okay, I was in number 8, House of Assembly He messed them up. They could not impeach him. But he didn't give them anything. He was not paying them. He didn't supply them anything. He's owing them. Number 9, corruption. Yahaya Bello is very corrupt. Very corrupt. In fact, the things Yahaya Bello did, this former deputy governor was even talking about the loss of lives. He mentioned it at the beginning. People died during the time of Yahaya Bello, and he accredited it to Yahaya Bello. Number 10, bad governance. Bad governor. Yahaya Bello want to be remembered as one of the best governors in Nigeria. Hey, Olakoko, if you see Yahaya Bello, he will praise himself. He is this, he is that. They say he's not good, but he know that he is good. He will praise himself. He go to his state, go to Lokoja. Everywhere is smelling. No road, no light, no water, nothing. Nothing is happening in Lokoja. Nothing. 0-0. Lokoja is 0-0. Their biggest popular thing from Lokoja is Mercy Johnson. And Mercy Johnson did not become popular in Lokoja. She has gone to Nollywood, Lagos, Asaba, Zigikworo, Gbogbo, before she now finally relaxed. The only person Yahaya Bello employed in 8 years of governor is Mercy Johnson. The only person Yahaya Bello employed in governance is, I'm telling you, Mercy Johnson was a commissioner for something, commissioner for whether culture, something. That's the only place he employed. Then Mercy Johnson now built a mansion of hotel. Another corruption there. I don't want to. They say her husband is honorable, this one, that one. Mercy Johnson is the only person Yahaya Bello employed. Whether they fed day together before she come, say Mercy Johnson still follow some politician, but may we rest. That one matter for another day. Before she come, but may we leave all those ones. So my point is that Yahaya Bello is corrupt. Yahaya Bello should be persecuted. Yahaya Bello must be persecuted by the EFCC. And the law must take its due course. Because many people that died of hunger in Kogi State during Yahaya Bello, teacher salary that was not paid. Many people that were not, in fact, that suffered is too much. God bless you, Olakoko. If you want to continue the video for them or take a call, I rest my observations for now.
As you can see in today's meeting, it is a meeting of not just people from Kogi East, but people from all over Kogi State. We are gathered to share with you our resolutions after a very
Please share this video, everybody. Invite your friends. Share this video, everyone. Share. Let it go viral. Like and share. Like and share.
Have to issue to you, and I read as follows. Communique issued at the end of the meeting of Kogi State Forum of Concerned Citizens held on 22nd April 2024 at Abuja. The Kogi State Forum of Concerned Citizens met in Abuja on the 22nd April 2024 to review issues concerning the state, region, and the ongoing efforts of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, to bring the former governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahaya Adoza Bello, to justice and to answer allegations of embezzlement of over 84 billion leveled against him and others. The forum noted the slow pace in bringing Yahaya Bello to justice, but however, commended the EFCC for rising to the occasion this time around to bring him and others to justice in response to the numerous petitions against him and our previous calls and calls of other well-meaning Kogais and Nigerians. The forum regrettably noted the arrogant resistance to arrest put forward by the former governor, Alhaji Yahaya Bello, which tallies with his posturing and crass behavior that he is above the law and can do and undo in all situations, believing that he can always buy everyone in Nigeria as long as his umbilical cord is connected to Kogi Treasury. As we speak, I want to bring to your notice that he has started mobilizing people to protest all over Nigeria. He has mobilized people in Lagos about 2-3 days ago. Today, he has also mobilized people in Kogi State. Every local government is given 3 buses to assemble in Lokoja to demonstrate and to tell EFCC not to arrest Bello. This is his stock in trade, and that is the part he's going again. He believes that he's above the law and that there is no institution in Nigeria that can question him about his 8 years in Kogi State. And I believe that the law of Nigeria is being put to test by his confrontation, and will continue to watch as the events unfolds. The forum further noted that the disgraceful actions of Nigeria police officers attached to Alhaji Yahaya Bello by forcefully preventing the EFCC from performing her lawful duties and draw the attention of Inspector General of Police to our various press releases concerning the activities of Kogi State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Bertrand Onoha, who has subjugated law and order in the state to the whims and caprices of Yahaya Bello. It is now glaring that he has reduced the state police command to the private army of Yahaya Bello. We commend the Inspector General of Police, the IGP, for proactive reaction to the unethical conducts of Bello's security aides. We implore him to carry the same disciplinary measure on the CP of Kogi State, that is Bertrand Onoha, who has been at the root of misconduct of policemen in Kogi State. Nigerians may not have come to the end of unethical conducts of policemen in Kogi State as long as Bertrand Onoha remains the CP of Kogi State. You will recall that this same Bertrand Onoha took along policemen, thugs, and other security agencies to Wanyigba prior the election, attacked the home of our campaign director, killed 2 policemen and 2 civilians, and labeled them as terrorists. Unknown to him, he didn't understand that the people he has killed are policemen that he himself has attacked to the director of campaign. So he has admitted openly that he committed murder. Committed murder because these people were there lawfully on duty, and they were killed. Since then, we have been appealing to the Inspector General of Police to do something concerning Bertrand Onoha, yet nothing has been done. We want to use this forum again to appeal to him, to see reason in what we are saying, that there is a need to call Bertrand Onoha and let him go through the due process of disciplinary measures as the rules of the police and the laws and the constitution of this country permits. The forum commended His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, for his war against corruption and abuse of office by public officers and his doggedness in maintaining the sanctity of law and order, irrespective of who is involved. The forum further commended Mr. President for not allowing himself to be hoodwinked by the yesteryear haters, turned his bootlickers now that they found themselves in a very tight corner. As a man of many parts, Mr. President has proven that he has a memory of an elephant. The forum noted the disgraceful, shameful, and illegal manner Governor Ododo of Kogi State smuggled Yahaya Bello from the Benghazi street home, thereby obstructing the course of justice, since the service to his master is more important to him than the oath of office he has taken. The forum invites Nigerians, and indeed the whole world, to note the reason why former Governor Yahaya Bello had to criminally pre-fill the INEC result sheets and commit heinous electoral malfeasance in favor of Ododo to be declared winner of the state governorship election held on 11th November 2023. You see, there is nothing wrong having a successor, but there is everything wrong having an unfit successor. Having a successor is not for the purpose of coming to cover your evil works or your embezzlement. It is to improve on what a governor that is living has done. But in the case of Kogi State, the purpose is to cover. And the acts of the Governor Ododo, since he came in, is very, very glaring. His purpose is to cover the embezzled money of Kogi people, and that cannot be taken by Kogi people. That since Ododo was sworn in as governor of the state, despite the outcry of decent Kogais, he abandoned the Kogi State government house for Yahaya Bello to maintain his full complementary staff. All the people he had as governor are still with him and are working for him. Retain his office. He still goes to his office as if he is the sitting governor. He still remains in his official residence, where we call Presidential Lodge. That is where he stays, and that is where he is still staying. So if this is allowed to be, what do you call it? Is this not a third tenure? So these are the things he continues to do. He puts the law and the Constitution of Nigeria to test all the time, finding new ways to manipulate the law. And I'm sure this time around, it will not work. It will certainly not work. He will not have his third tenure as he has planned by himself. The people of Kogi State and Nigerians and those who are protecting the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will not permit this to happen.
You will be the call before we network disconnect. I believe, Sina, you call from this state. Feel free to call back, okay? Feel free to call back. We just this one the part 2. So you will want really know more about Yahaya Bello. Try just watch the part 1. You will see where we start from. So we appreciate every one of you. So the number the comment section, if you want to contribute to the matter, feel free to call in before we call on day. Thank you all for watching.
He is still in his official residence and he continues to enjoy the paraphernalia of his office as though he is on his third term, and thus providing sanctuary for him to evade arrest or be held accountable for his past misdeed as governor. The forum further drew the attention of INEC to the case of double registration brought against Yahaya Bello, of which INEC confirmed same to be true, but could not prosecute him because of the immunity he enjoyed as governor that time, but promised to prosecute him in accordance with the extant law at the end of his tenure. That the INEC should commence the prosecution against former Governor Bello without further delay as deterrent to other lawless and desperate politicians. As you know, it is not permitted for anyone to register twice or more than one time in an election or in the process of voting. But I was an eyewitness to the double registration. If you look at the pictures as presented that time, it is the office of the governor of Kogi State. I was the city deputy governor. And I cautioned them that this
My people, not be smart, I will really say good dose to our amiable bishop. You really don't hit him. So that's most one we talk on. So we're not going to feed do our all night, okay? So we appreciate every one of you and see you for the next broadcast. Thanks for watching.